The first time you load up Burnout Paradise, you'll realise exactly what's been missing from every single racing game thus far. That's right, Guns N' Roses! This is possibly the best developed open world interface there is. The technical side is strong, with very quick load times, and the architecture is good, with games at every intersection and useful or interesting things spaced at sensible intervals. And the art design is wonderful, looking and feeling like a real city, with depth and infrastructure to its backgrounds, which of course makes tearing around it in the races and challenges all the more fun. And what is there to do? Well, at every intersection there's a game waiting for you, and there's a standard array of Burnout-style game modes. You get regular races from point to point on the map and against varying numbers of cars, which is interesting as there's no set route, so you can take shortcuts or avoid the other races if you wish. My favourite is Marked Man, where you have to simply survive from one point to another whilst being chased by hard-ass black sedans trying to take you down. There's also the Burning Route races, which are time challenges for specific routes using specific cars, and takedown challenges. These alternative modes are great as the cars are fast and the AI aggressive. You can also enter Superstar mode at any time by pressing both bumpers. This is a bit like the crash modes of previous games, but much more random and with rhythm elements incorporated as you bounce from vehicle to vehicle. You can also challenge and set time and damage records for every street in the city. Winning events will let you get a higher licence and unlock more and better cars, of which there are 75 in the game. The only downside is that because of the open structure, you might unlock a top car really early on, and then the others will feel a bit disappointing after that. The HUD is pretty good. You've got a compass at the top of the screen and a mini-map in the bottom right with your immediate location and broad directional markers, although the map doesn't reorient itself like a sat-nav, so it can be tricky to work out which way to turn if you're not travelling north. You can always pause and pull up a full map from the start button, but this does interrupt the flow of a race quite badly. The best thing really is just to put in some time and get to know the city. Unsurprisingly for a Burnout title, the driving mechanic is spot on. It feels super fast and responsive, but at the same time isn't too twitchy, particularly in the earlier cars, and it's actually quite easy for a casual gamer to get acclimatised to. The only thing that does take a bit of getting used to is the shifting camera on the right stick. Another joy of the open world system is that you don't have to be doing challenges all the time, and if you're new to this kind of game, you can spend a bit of time just driving around, getting used to the cars, the controls, the city, and for limeys like me, the right-hand drive. The multiplayer is also fantastic. For starters, all of the menus are hotkeyed to the D-pad, so you don't need to leave the game to join an online match. Also, there's a whole bunch of fun stuff set up, so for example, if you have your webcam connected, then you and your opponent will each have a photo taken at the end of the race, so you can swap your victory and crushing defeat pictures. Burnout Paradise can be a bit disorientating at first as there's no tutorial, but there is the rather amusing DJ Atomica, who will offer you hints in a delightfully stinging way, and who will play you a pretty good, if not enormous, selection of tracks.
I love traveling by rail, so it's a real good thing they got rid of all the trains in Paradise City so I can drive my car across all the old railroad bridges.
Wonderful as this game is, there are a few minor gripes. For starters, a greater variety of game modes would have been nice. Also, the Superstar mode is nowhere near as fun and exciting as the old Crash mode. And some people will find the open world setting a little bit frustrating, particularly as you can't restart races without driving all the way back to the start line. But all in all, this is a cracking game. Definitely the best Burnout since Burnout 2 and a very worthwhile investment. 5 stars.